So let me just tell you a little story real quick. Okay, this house over here, back when they were trying to pull that shit and manipulate reality about who was who, they have a female that's of LGBTQ, and she also goes to school for psychology, but she actually goes on campus, and she's going for child psychology. Okay, so that was supposed to be the decoy that they had in place for here. You know, while I was away, my grass grew, and they were one of the ones that ended up complaining about it. There was an email that was sent from the town. Okay, so the town of Asher sent me an email, which they now call themselves city. But they sent me an email saying that the neighbors, and I only got 2 neighbors. Okay, I have this house over there, and that's their trash in my yard. Their trash is always in my yard. But I have this house in front, and then I have the house in back of me. Nothing else is near. Like, that's all my property down there, and that's all my property over there. So they were complaining to continue to attack me in the same way and fashion that they were while I was in Ohio. Like to have as many different groups and different tiers of agents attacking me as they were. They said pretty much that they were going to allow their grass to grow out and not cut it to sabotage me. Okay, so they said they were going to allow their grass to grow and say that it was my grass. Okay, they haven't cut this grass. Today is the 12th of September. They haven't cut this grass since the middle of July. It hasn't been cut at all since the middle of July. I spent a lot of time in my yard yesterday. They put fat on me while I was mowing. And to cover all that up, and she's a heavy white girl, to cover all that up, that guy that stays over there with them is an Indian guy. It's probably what its fake nationality is. Okay. It's all the way to the basis for me. If I'm like Neanderthal and Homo sapien, that Indian, and I'm Armenian, and I'm Japanese, and I'm Vietnamese, and I'm Philippine, and I'm Australian, and that shit's not going to work. It's simple. So, today, I noticed, after he came in trying to get my attention, okay, like trying to claim that he was me, what he does every time he's trying to pose as me now is he plays music loud. And that's behavior that they didn't have prior. Okay, so to claim that they're me, they're claiming, they're playing music loud and doing other things, that they wouldn't normally do. But that's a lawnmower on the back of that truck. And that's his truck. But he's been driving her mini SUV. And they said that they got him a job. Here comes the elder Robert. Let me close my door. Okay, so check this out. More on that story is that he was the one that, originally I paid him to cut my grass. And I paid him $100. He only cut my grass once, but he was trying to pretty much hit my yard whenever he wanted to in order to manipulate reality, okay? And I brought that to a stop. So he only got to cut the yard twice before I told him not to, and he was supposed to cut it a total of 5 times, like every Monday for 5 weeks. So one was legit. The other one was him trying to fuck me over. And I brought it to a halt after that, because it was like, you tried to show up in my yard 2 days after you just cut my grass. And after I laid these guidelines, told you specifically. Okay? So she asked him to cut their grass. He says that he cut it. I never these are hours that they were keeping me up. I never saw them more. It was like they cut it with parallel reality, and then I fall asleep for about 2 hours. I wake up and, you know, your grass has been cut. But it doesn't, it just, when you look at the time, when you look at all the elements, the time of day, the logistics, the communication factor, you know, none of it makes sense, okay? Like, they didn't even have a way to communicate. So, and I've caught him also being the other folks' yard claiming that they asked him to cut when they were just in their own yard cutting. You know, like that bacon house that's over here to the side of me. Like, a guy had just came out there and cut. 2 days later, he's over there, and like when I cut, he was over there waiting for me. Up, caught the cat, trying to ease over here from over there. Keep your ass over there. Cut, he was literally over there pretty much just wasting time waiting on me to come outside. And as soon as I came outside, I didn't even notice him. And he literally shot across the street from right across the street over into my property on a mower and caught me off guard. Oh, are you the same cat? You're a different cat. Who are you? He's like, you notice that I'm not the same cat. I'm not a friendly. I just want you to know. Don't be acting like you're looking at something in my yard, because ain't nobody in my yard. Oh, it must be another cat. Yep. Kitty cat, what are you doing? Go get the kitty. It was in my yard. Go get him. Kitty cat, go get him. He was over here in my space. He was in my space. And you are too. You ain't supposed to be here either. With your funny paws. You was just acting brand new yesterday. You was a different demon. So anyways, and so he was trying to create a habit of talking to me about Julie and Howard Randall, whichever his name is. I heard her call him Howard, but he says that her husband's name is Randall. She said her boyfriend's name is Howard. Okay, I mean, you know, she said it's her boyfriend. She never said his name to me, but I heard her calling. And that could have been some covert shit too. But look, none of that matters. He was trying to make it a habit to talk to me about her because he was trying to call me her, okay? And establish himself as me. Until I had to check him about that too. Don't bring that up to me. So anyhow, before that happened, he was talking about them. He was like, yeah, like every time he catch me outside mowing in the evening, when I had that electric mower and I had to mow every day to keep up with it, he would catch me. And he bring up that, you know, they still hadn't paid him. And he would even go as far as saying, you know, they had even walked by. And, I mean, he even rode by and they had seen him ride by a couple of times and didn't holler for him or anything. Stray kitties. I think that cat was at my back door until it hurt me. I guess that tapping I was doing on the thing was catching their attention.